Greetings, dear viewers. This is a PokerStars Play Money table, and we are going to take a seat right over here. Click on the Take Seat button. We're going to buy in for 1,000 Play Money chips, which is all we have in our account right now. And click on OK. And we've taken a seat at a Play Money PokerStars table. Looks like a pair of aces is going to take down that hand. So I felt like, let's see, I'm going to sit out next big blind. No. I think it's going to wait for me to be big blind before it actually posts, before I actually get into the game here. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We've got a pretty big raise there from Brutus 138. Okay, let's see. Pair of jacks versus a pair of kings. Okay, now it's trips kings. And actually it looks like the jacks win because it became a full house. Crazy stuff starting off at this Play Money game. Alright, so I've actually got a hand here. I've posted big blind even though I'm not big blind in order to get into the game. There's a huge raise of 9-10. I'm going to fold with my 8-4. But I felt like playing some poker. Been playing poker for the past couple of weekends now, and I felt like playing some more, so I'm going to jump in on this Play Money table here at PokerStars. Again, 1,000 chips is all we have in our account. Oh, I've got a pair of sevens here. I definitely have to raise this. I'm going to raise it, I don't know, let's make it 70. I'm going to raise to 70 right there. Okay, we're going to get a caller. Now, you're not getting the real poker experience. Okay, there's an all-in right there. I don't really want to risk my entire stack of... I realize it's just Play Money chips, but I'm going to go ahead and fold. I don't want to risk all of my Play Money chips on a pair of sevens right there. We got ace-10 and 4-3. Looks like a pair of threes, but anything could happen here. We got three hearts. Okay, so the flush wins it. See, I would have lost right there. I don't really want to take that kind of risk. I just sat down at the table. Let's go ahead and play a little bit more slowly. Let's see what players are playing like. That was a pretty good all-in, I guess, because people are very likely to just donk off all of their Play Money chips. Once again, you are not getting the real poker experience on a Play Money table, and I'm taking that into account and adjusting my play accordingly. So I've got an ace here. That's a pretty strong hand in a short-handed table. Looks like this player, who was probably the most wild at this table, has just left. So that's pretty good. Again, I want to try and raise this. Let's go ahead and make it. Let's go ahead and raise it up to 70. And of course, I'm going to get callers because again, it's just Play Money. People are going to say, you know what, whatever, and they're just going to call with whatever. But because I've got an ace, oh, I've just made two pair. All right, this is good. Normally, I'd probably try and have to bait some of these players into playing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go all in here. Oh, we got a folder right there. Actually, no, I'm not going to go all in. I'm going to, go like 190 or something like that. And hopefully they'll call or go all in over the top of me or something like that. But I don't want a spade to hit, so that's why I'm betting pretty big. I want my two pair to win it. So I'll go ahead and take down that pot. We're sitting here at a profit already, so that's pretty good. We're going to fold this 4-10 offsuit right there. And I like playing in these smaller handed, or these smaller tables where we're short-handed here. I like a game around, I'd say around 5 players is probably where I'm most comfortable. I like short-handed games. I don't like the big games where it's like 10 players at the table, because then you have to sit and wait for the very best hands before you can jump into the pot, and I don't know, I don't like that. I like being able to play hands a little bit more often, so I like to get around 5 players if I can. Alright, we got another 4-10 offsuit, so again, just like last time, we're going to fold it. I did play some Texas Hold'em, and it was pretty popular in my Far Cry series, my Far Cry 3? My Far Cry 3. Yeah, my Far Cry 3 series. A game I actually did finish. I played some of the Texas Hold'em minigame in that playthrough, and viewers seem to really like that, which is pretty cool. And no, my channel's not going to become like a poker channel or anything. I've got some ideas for games to put up next. I ran that survey. I don't want to talk about that survey right now, but I did run that survey. It gave me some insight. And I got some ideas for what I want to do with my channel coming up in the next, I don't know, few days, few weeks here. Alright, so I've got a queen. I'm sitting in the big blind here. So I've already got 10 chips in. There's a raise to 280. I'm obviously not calling that. Arsa 80 is calling all in. Wolfgang 52 is going to call as well at 280. Bravissimo sitting at 385 chips total. Not sure if they're going to play, but okay, I'm definitely not going to play. Just going to forfeit the big blind that was in there. So I've got my 2 queen. We've got, we've got, there's only 2 types of cards out there, a 5 and a 6, but we've got couple of hearts. Looks like, oh, okay, we got a player that already has a full house, so that player is obviously going to take it. Our side is going to be sitting out, might refill with some more chips, or might just leave the table, who knows. Sometimes losing like that can be a bit demoralizing. We've got a raise all in here from Wolfgang. Must have a pretty good hand to start off, but I'm going to fold. I don't want to play that with my king. Got another player folding right here. I like this player's capable of folding. You want to see the kinds of players who are capable of doing that kind of thing. Alright, so I've got Jack 10 on the button. It's okay. This is an okay hand. I'm obviously going to raise it up here. Let's go 70. Got a folder right there. We got a call. Is this the same player? Yeah, they just refilled. We got 2 calls. That's fine. With a hand like Jack 10, you kind of want that kind of thing. Alright, so now I've got a gut shot straight draw. A 10 will make a straight. A queen will make a straight for me here, but I have nothing other than that. We've got plenty of callers, so I'm just going to go ahead and check. Alright, so I got a pair of jacks now. That's okay, but that jack could make someone else a straight if they're sitting around with 10 queen. So I've got to worry about that. This jack doesn't do much for the strength of my hand. But if I keep checking, here's the problem. If I keep checking right now, I'm allowing them to draw to a better hand. But if I tried to bet, I'm probably going to get calls anyway because, you know, this is play money and they're willing to gamble. We got a 10 chip bet right here. That's actually kind of scary looking, but it's 10 chips to win 272. So I have to call that with my pair of jacks just to see what I have. All right, so there's 3 kings there. You know, you have to make that call every time. All right, so we have a couple of kings here. Because those odds are just astronomical. Like, you're gonna have the better hand. You're gonna have the better hand enough times to make that worth it. So I got a pair of kings here. Again, I'm gonna raise my normal amount of 70, just to make it seem like I don't have something tremendously strong. You know, aces would be tremendously strong. But I got, as they're called here, cowboys, pocket kings. We got this player right here. They're waiting a long time. Are they just AFK? Are they just AFK? Looks like they're probably just AFK. So they're folding and sitting out. We got a call right here. Ideally, I'd like if somebody went all in right now so that I can, you know, go all in over the top. There we go. There's an all in. So I'm actually in pretty good shape here. But again, this 1,000 chips that I bought in with, this is all the chips that I have in my play money account right now. So I'm just going to hit raise all in. We get 2 callers, maybe triple up here. We got 10s. All right, I hit trips kings. This is good. So I pretty much win this one right now. There's no hand that can beat me at that point. So yeah, I got more than doubled up my chip stack at this point. So I'm going to fold and just continue to play tight, play some good hands, and try and get a feel for what players are playing like. Again, I know this player is capable of folding. I know this player is a little bit wild. This guy's somewhere in between. Wolfgang, he likes to go all in with any good hand pre-flop, so you know if he's not in the hand, maybe he's not, maybe he doesn't have a mediocre hand or what have you. So this seems like the kind of player who likes to play the game pre-flop. He likes to play just his whole cards initially. Maybe doesn't do too well after the flop or anything like that. Alright, so this player is still AFK and sitting out. Queen Jack. Okay, so if I've got a pair of jacks on the board. Alright, so there's trips jacks right there actually. But it looks like Bravissimo wins. Wait, what did it actually have? Oh, he had a straight. He had a straight, didn't he? Yeah, he had a straight there. So that's actually good for him. That means Wolfgang can't really play too many hands like that anymore. I've got King 9, there's diamonds. Alright, so we got all in and a call. This is iffy for me because you know, obviously it's not gonna destroy my stack if I call and lose. But I'm gonna go ahead and fold it because, you know, why take that risk? Jack 10, Queen 9. I actually would have had the better hand. We got a pair of 10s over here. Alright, so the pair of 10s does that. Wolfgang is sitting out. We've got Queen 9. This is a pretty decent hand actually, and I'm in early position, so it's not that great, but I do want to raise it. If I'm going into a hand, I'm going to want to raise the hand. So I'm going to raise this up to 70. Hopefully this player will fold. They're probably going to AFK again. This player is almost definitely calling. Oh, there's a big raise. Well, that's good. We got a raise and a re-raise, and we got 2 folds. So if I want to play, I have to call 3. You know, let's go ahead and call it. Let's get a little bit loose here. Alright, so I'm pretty much check folding at this point because ace and a king, this player re-raised. They're bound to have one of those two or a high pocket pair. So I'm not in very good shape here. I gotta fold. Gotta get out of this hand. It was a little bit gambly of me to make that call in the first place because I did raise, they re-raised and pushed 2 other players out. So that shows a lot of strength. So a hand like my previous one with a queen being my highest card was a bit of a gamble for me to call with. But you know what? If I got lucky there, then that would have been really cool. Otherwise, I'm still at 2,400 chips. It is called gambling for a reason. And of course, again, this is just play money. This isn't real money. but I figured I'd take a little bit of a gamble there. And again, I gave this player the respect that I've seen that they've earned from my observation of them. I know that they're a tight player. I know that they're capable of folding. They're capable of making good plays. That was actually a pretty good raise on their part and a pretty good sized bet on the flop. So that tells me that this player is actually a player who kind of plays seriously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a label here. And let's see, what color should the label be? I guess I'll go ahead and go blue. Yeah, I'll go a blue label. I don't know what to... Okay, we can edit these, actually. This blue label we will call probably playing seriously. It's probably good. I'll go ahead and mark that player so that if I come across them again, I'll know that they're probably playing seriously in future tables. Alright, so I've got 2 suited cards here. Since it's only 10 chips to call, I'm going to go ahead and call. We got player on the button. They fold their button hand. See, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about right there. You know, it's not that, you know, they're not... playing very loose. I'm gonna go ahead and fold this. I just put 10 chips in to see if maybe I could sneak into that pot, but I really don't want to be in there with 6-9, even though right now it would actually be a fantastic hand. But I really didn't want to be in there with that. I mean, you're going to lose more often than not in that situation, even though right there it turned out it would have been a pretty strong hand, because the previous player only had 2 pair. They had 9s and 8s, and my trips 9s would have definitely won that. But you know, it was not the right play to make, and I'm not really concerned with the results. Poker is one really good thing, or is one game that's really good about that, about punishing a results-oriented approach to the game. I'm going to go ahead and fold here. Actually, it's a king. I'm in kind of late position. This guy's out. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and raise it up. Because it is a king and we're short-handed, I can play. It doesn't have to be a premium. He's actually not out. He's got cards. Dang it, and he didn't sit out. Okay, well that's fine. So I've got top pair right here. I'm okay with this. I'm going to go ahead and bet the pot. Nope, not max. I'm going to go ahead and bet 272, which is the size of the pot right here, with my pair of kings. Now, of course, if this guy decides to play, he could be on a draw, or he could have a stronger king than mine. Knowing the type of player that he is, I'm going to go ahead and check on the turn here. If he checks, he's probably going for that diamond draw. If he bets, then he's probably got a stronger king. Alright, there's that diamond. So that, to me, tells me he probably hit his flush, and I'm not in good shape. So I'm going to check. I feel like this player is the type of player who would draw right there, and I gave him the free cards. See, there's a 290 bet. He's got a flush, and I'm going to call him just to make sure that my read is correct. I'm paying for information here. So I hit call. We're going to see, oh no, there's no diamonds. Good, that was good info then. It paid off for me. The call there, even if, the call there was questionable, wasn't it? If you really think about it. I'm going to call 5 chips here. So he had queen 9, really. He had queen 9 there, as if he was, so he was bluffing. So we know this player is capable of making bluffs now. That was an information call that just happened to pay off for me. So, he played exactly like he was going for a diamond draw. I'm going to fold this. That's 2-3. He played exactly as if he was going for a diamond draw, which is what I put him on, and I figured I was going to be paying those 290 chips for information. I just wanted to see whether or not my read was correct, and it turns out my read was incorrect, so I won the pot for that. And I also learned that, you know, he's capable of making bluffs and stuff like that. So that's actually really cool. That's pretty awesome. But anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, poker is a really good game for... okay, how can I put this? It teaches you, if you want to improve at it, to not have a results-oriented mindset. Whenever you do something in poker, anything, whenever you do something while playing poker, you never know if you're going to win money or lose money on that play. You can play statistics. I've got ace-8 here on the button. We're going to kick this up to... Oh, wait, that's 280. I'm going to call the 280 bet. Actually, I've got position right here. So we got a... since I have position, I get to see what they're going to do. Whoa, okay. So a 10 would be good. What? He just bets a 10 chips? I'm going to have to call that. I'm waiting for a 10 to drop. Alright, so I've got a straight right now. He probably has a straight too. But we're going to go and just bet all in because I have the best hand at this point. They're going to fold. Alright, so I've got my straight. We'll take that down. That 10 chip bet didn't really mean much, did it? So having a results-oriented mindset, not just in poker, but in almost everything. Well, maybe not everything, but a results-oriented mindset tends to lead to some pitfalls, some traps, especially whenever it comes to poker. Like, if you make a bet in poker, and statistically speaking, it's the incorrect bet, but you win money off of it, then you might be tempted to feel good, like, oh, I made a bet and I won money. You may be tempted to repeat that process later, even if it was, statistically speaking, the wrong play. You can't look at things like that. You have to be willing to ignore, for the most part, the result of an action and determine whether or not that action was actually the correct action at the time. So, like if you call with a 9, or if you fold a 9 in your hand. No, put it this way: if you fold a 3 in your hand, which you're often going to do, because 3s are a fairly weak card, unless they're paired with another 3. In which case, even then, there are certain situations where it's an advantage or a disadvantage. But what I'm trying to get at here is you fold like with a 3 in your hand, and like the flop comes 3-3-3, so you're like, oh man, I would have had quad 3s. That doesn't mean you should always call with a 3 in your hand, that kind of thing. In that situation, you made the right play. You folded a 3 pre-flop. That's a good play. You should do that, because statistically speaking, calling with a 3 in your hand isn't going to win you money in the long term. You've got to be willing to look at things as whether in the frame of whether or not it was the right play to be made. And that can be said for a whole lot of things. Like League of Legends, for example, is really good. Is a really good game to not have a results-oriented mindset, but goal-oriented or method-oriented even might be a good idea, or might be a good way to put it. So anyway, I got a pair of 7s here. I'm putting 70 in the pot, which has been my usual bet, or my usual raise up to this point. We got a caller from the player on my left. We got multiple callers coming in here. This person pretty much has to call at this point or go all in. They probably should have gone all in. Alright, so we got 10, 10, 5. I like the fact that there's only 2 types of cards out there, 10 and 5. Makes it less likely that others have it, but we got to raise all in here. I've only got a pair of 7s, so I'm going to get out of here. I don't want to pay the 930 and hope that a 7 drops to make it full house for me. That's all I would feel comfortable with. I don't necessarily think he's going to have the 10 all the time. So he's got a 5 right there. So even if I would have called that, it would have been okay. But why risk it in that particular situation? I don't know enough about these players to make that sort of play, and I am sitting here with the biggest stack. Oh, actually, Arsa has the biggest stack, but with a pretty big stack. I've more than tripled up my buy-in at this point, and I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep playing solid poker and paying attention to what my opponents do. Try to make as few mistakes as possible. Alright, so there's just 2 hands here. I've got a jack. He just completed. We're going to make it 70. I'm going to try and steal this pot from him. Maybe he'll fold, maybe not. Maybe he'll go all in. Alright, so he made a call. So there's a jack right there. He's got to be scared of that flop. I don't think he's got anything there, so we're just going to max it out and see if we can get him to put in that 260 or fold or what have you. I'm really thinking I'm going to win this. He's got 8-9, so he needs a 10 to fall. Alright, so I've got my jack right there. Actually, we split the pot, don't we? Yeah. 2 pair, aces and queens. My jack actually didn't play there because the board was a better hand than what my jack would have made. So he actually got really lucky there. He lucked out on that hand. He was set to lose it. But instead, he decides he gets to stick around for a little bit longer. Which is okay. That's going to happen sometimes. That's pretty funny. Oh, man. Oh, well. So I've got 8-10. They're not connected. In order to be connected, it would have to be 9-10, or 8-9, or 7-8, or 10-jack. There's a gap there. There's a 9 missing between. But it's 8-10. It's suited. If I can get into this pot cheap, I'll get into this pot cheap. See what this player decides to do. They're letting their timer tick down. Probably went for a quick AFK, maybe a coffee break or something like that. Alright, I'm going to try and sneak in here for 5. Alright, I snuck in for 5. No clubs on the board, so I'm just going to check and fold to any bet. We got a small pot of only 33 chips. Check this again. I'm just going to hit fold to any bet over there on the left side. Checked immediately to that player, and that's probably lets them know that I hit that fold to any bet button, so they might want to bet and make me fold. Alright, so there's that. 5 queen. What do I want to do with 5 queen on the button? There's only 2 potential players. We're going to raise this because I do have a queen, and I have position even if they do call. And I've got both their chip stacks covered with my chip stack, so I'm actually not in a bad spot here whatsoever. Alright, well there's my trips 5s. Now the goal here is to get them to... I'm going to check. I want them to play hard at this. I'm going to check again, see what they both do. I'm going to try and make it look like a steal if they both check. I have the best hand here, I'm pretty sure. I got trips 5s. Alright, there's a 200. I'm going to try and make him go all in with that. So let's actually raise it to 400. Sure, let's raise to 400 and see if they call. Yeah, he has to call all in, and that's enough there. So here's my trips 5s. Let's see if either of them has anything to beat that. No, they do not. Oh, actually that 3 on the river. Oh man, that 3 on the river, that sucks. They won the main pot with that freaking 3 on the river. Oh well, what can you do? Sometimes that's going to happen. Alright, let's go ahead and fold this. Now that previous hand, I got pretty greedy. I let them draw. I let them get all the way to the river before putting some money in there. I tried to bait them out. As to whether or not that was the correct play, it's debatable, actually. You could say, well, because my opponent drew a 3, I should not have let them draw, and I should have put money in sooner instead of letting them get all the way to the river. You could say that. Alternatively, you could say, well, how likely is it that someone is going to hit that 3 on the river over the course of many hands? Like, what is the statistical likelihood that someone's going to make a boat like that against you? So maybe with your trips, maybe sometimes it is right to try and bait them in the way that I did. I don't know. You could look at it both ways as far as that one is concerned. Either way, I did lose a little bit of money on that one, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it's going to happen sometimes. I played the hand well, maybe not perfectly, but I played the hand well, I think. Taking a drink of water. I might actually end this video here pretty soon because there's no definitive end point for a cash game like this, and it's called a cash game. That's the term for this type of poker table. It's not tournament style, in other words. There is no definitive end for this, so you get to sit and play for as long as you want, and you can get up at any particular point. And like, it's pretty early in the morning. It's almost 7 in the morning for me right now. So it's probably a good idea that I just go ahead and end this video pretty soon. Almost triple my buy-in, so that's good. I might do some more stuff like this again in the future. Let me know if you folks liked this particular video. Maybe I'll do more like it in the future because it's kind of relaxing. It's poker, it's fun, you know, it's just play money. Even though, again, like I said, this is called a cash game. It's actually just a play money table. Alright, so 5-3, obviously we're folding to any bet here. That's too scary of a flop. It's far too red, and I don't have anything that I can draw to in this hand, so if anybody puts out any amount of money, I'm folding. I don't really care to participate too much in this hand. We'll let the button hit me 2 more times. So the button's going to come to me here, boom, in the next hand, and then it'll go around and it'll hit me again, boom, and after that second button, after that second round, I will go ahead and cut off the video. Alright, 2-Jack, even on the button, not really that good. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Let these players play it out. And see how all that goes. I had 2-Jack. 2 jacks fell. I would have had trips jacks. Again, that doesn't mean you should always call with 2-Jack. I made the right play, of that I have no doubt. Well, I guess you could look at it another way. It is a short-handed table. I did have a face card, you know. That does warrant calling with Jack 2 sometimes. And that's one of the awesome things about poker. Alright, we got connectors here. I'm going to go ahead and try and get in with connectors. They're not suited, but I'm going to try and get into the pot with connectors. That's one of the awesome things about poker, is all the different ways that you can look at things. Check. Alright, so he checked. Alright, so we got 8, 9, 10 Jack. So now I can catch a 7 or a queen to make a straight. I've already got a pair of 8s. Let's go ahead and bet this. I'm going to bet 40. A little bit over the size of the pot. Let's go ahead and bet this, because I got a lot of cards that can come out that can make me happy. A 9, well actually a 9 wouldn't do it for me. An 8, a 7, or a queen are really what I'm looking for here. But even if I don't hit those, I still have a pair of 8s, so there's that. Let's see, an 8, a 7, or a queen. We know 2 8s are already gone. That's 4 7s, 4 queens, so that's 10 cards. At this point, by the river, I have a 40% chance of seeing one of those 3 cards come up. So I actually feel pretty good about this hand right now, and even then, even if I don't hit those, or hit one of those, then I've still got my pair of 8s, which may win. So now there's a pair of jacks on the board. Let's go ahead and check this. That could make trips jacks, making my 8 superfluous. But now, an 8 coming out would be pretty good. I could still hit my straight. I'm gonna go ahead and call this. I can still hit my straight or catch an 8. All right, so I didn't get anything there. Let's go ahead and check. I've only got my pair of 8s, so I've got 8s and jacks with a 10 kicker. But it really just depends on what he's holding. So he's gonna bet 110. It's 110 to try. Do I really think half the time I'm gonna win this hand with a pair of 8s? Is that the right play? Do I really think that I'm going to win this pot that often? I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if my pair of 8s actually takes it down. Hey, what do you know? He was sitting there with an 8 in his hand as well. Wait, what? I want to see that. I want to see that previous hand. What was I holding? I thought I was holding. Oh, I was holding 8, 9. Okay, he had 8s and 10s. That makes sense. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and call this one here. But he had jacks and 10s actually, so his when that jack came down, it actually helped him out. Let's give him those jacks and 10s. I had jacks and 8s. Oh, hold on. What am I doing here? Check. I stopped paying attention a little bit, honestly. Like I said, it's pretty close to 7 o'clock here. I got a pair of 4s here. We're going to check this. I think it is a good time for me to go ahead and bring this down. Let's go ahead and check. I hope maybe my pair of 4s wins this. Oh, I said I was going to wait for the button to come around that many more times, right? Alright, so anyway, we're good. I'm going to fold this, and I'm going to sit out next hand. So, again, now I'm sitting out. I'm not going to get dealt any cards, and it's just going to be these two players playing against each other for a little bit. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. I'm going to give my voice a rest a little bit, maybe get some sleep, etc., etc. And yeah, that will do it for this particular video. Thanks a lot for watching, dear viewers, and I'll see you next time.